Hello everyone, I am Ham and you watch. Welcome to Ham and Watch, and today 5 new video game reviews. Only indie games this time. I'm a sucker for indie games. I love them. I don't care if a game is indie or not, and more than often I like indie games a lot. If you don't care much about indie games, you won't find great stuff in there, but for me there was some good games, some very interesting games. Let's go. Alright, first we have a Peek at Peek, haha, pun intended. Peek is an indie game that came out recently and had a lot of hype. It's made by AgroCrab, the people who did Another Crab's Treasure, somewhat of a bigger game. This is a small game of exploration and climbing and parkour and such, mostly made for multiplayer. You can play by yourself or you can play mostly with friends, right? So you take 2, 3, 4 friends and you go on a hike and you climb mountains, and it's first person, and it's a bit silly, a bit zany, but also very demanding because it's tough. It's about survival. You need to eat and all that, and you have no idea where to go. You just try and you explore, and if you die, well, you'll have to restart. It's a small game, it's a small scope game, and I don't know what I expected, but I guess I expected just a bit more. Visually the game is pleasant, it's very indie, a bit silly, a bit colorful, cartoony, but there's not much to it. The content is fine, it's big levels, but they get very repetitive, I must say. Level design is not necessarily exciting. I don't know if it's generated each time, but it's okay. The gameplay is fine. You climb, it's funny. I think the game is exactly what it looks like, and also you have to think that you'll have more fun with all the laughter you'll get with your friends. If you check someone like Soviet Womble, a very cool YouTuber guy, that's where the fun comes from. It's from playing with others and having fun and doing silly jokes and all that. The game itself, it's fine. There's some cool secrets in there, if you like exploration. I wanted just a bit more. So for me, at the end of the day, Peek is an okay game, which gets a 68%. That's a C. It's okay, it's really fine. You probably will rate it higher if you play with your friends, and I think you can spend like 10-20 hours trying to explore it and finish it, but I don't think that's a game you'll think about in a few years. Alright, next we have Tales of Iron 2, Whiskers of Winter. Once again, a small indie game. It's the sequel of a game that I really liked, Tales of Iron 1. And it's a Metroidvania hack and slash type of game. It's in 2D, you control this little rat and you move in these beautifully illustrated levels, and you fight, and it looks gorgeous. Visually it's beautiful. It is a Metroidvania in a way, but don't expect as much as games like Metroid and Castlevania and even Hollow Knight and such. It's a bit more on the side of Dark Souls games, because the game is a bit demanding in combats. If you've played games like Blasphemous, this is that, with a bit maybe less quality in the level design and the combat. It's a small scope indie game. For me, the fun comes mostly from the story, the illustrations. I think the art is gorgeous. I wish there was more of that. The sequel, I would say, is maybe not as good as the first one, but not bad either. It's a good sequel, so if you've played the first one, you should definitely try. If you've never played the sequel of the first one, actually, you should try maybe to play the first one, because I think the first one was more complete. There was more to it. I finished this one in a very short amount of time. Not that it was like 5 hours or so, but it was a short indie game. But yeah, if you like the narration by the guy who did Geralt of Rivia in The Witcher, if you like this type of art and you don't fear a harsh gameplay of Souls-like in this beautifully illustrated environment, you should try Tales of Iron 2. I give it an 85%. It's a great little game, but still great. I had loads of fun. I love this world. I wish they had enough money to make the third one. I wish there was maybe a bigger game of it. If they could take inspiration from Castlevania and such, I think this license deserves much more. 85% for Tales of Iron 2. Alright, next we have Shadows of Doubt. Man, I'm conflicted about this game. Alright, Shadows of Doubt is an indie game that's been worked on for several years now. I think it's still in early access. I would need to check if it's still in early access or what. It's been a while. I had this game in my wishlist for a long time. I've played the demo a long time ago, and I had so much hope, and I couldn't wait, and I really wanted to play this game, and I did. And alright, Shadows of Doubt is a game of investigation. If you love a good mystery with lots of stuff to explore, if you love a cyberpunk environment and you don't mind this very pixelized indie look, you know, like it's cyberpunk, but it's very indie, almost Minecraft looking. If you've played a game like Cloudpunk and such, this is exactly that, except it's not so much about the action, although there is some action. It's stealth and investigation and crimes and finding the clues, and you've got this crazy map of linking the dots and all that. The concept is awesome. On paper, Shadows of Doubt could be a game where I spend, I don't know, 100 hours. It's fantastic. The idea is fantastic. The realization, what they did of it so far, lots of problems, lots of issues in gameplay. It's very clunky, it's buggy. Man, I want this game to get more budget. I want this game to be more famous, and that's why I'm going to give Shadows of Doubt a 60%. Not a D, but a C. It's okay. It's just okay. If they don't do more, it's just gonna be average and probably less than 60%. If they keep on working on it, this game can become great. There's already the workshop, and people who can make their own murder cases, and they can make their own stories. This game needs a community with much more people. It is fantastic on paper. As of now, Shadows of Doubt get a 60% C. It's okay, can become great. Alright, next in the list we have NUBBY'S Number Factory. If you did not run away when I mentioned this would only be indie games, you're probably going to run away now by looking at NUBBY'S Number Factory. This is an ugly game. I'm not gonna hide it, this is an ugly game, and it's on purpose, alright? NUBBY'S Number Factory is a tribute to the old games that we had for free or for very cheap or put in a magazine in the 90s. Or on internet at the beginning of internet and all that, for shareware, freewares, all those games. Even games that you could find later on Newgrounds, Congregate and such. I'm a sucker for that era, I love that, and I think that's why I have less problem enjoying a game like that. But I could understand that someone looks at it and think, there's no way I'm playing this. Well, hear me out. Video-wise, it's ugly. There's not an interesting like story or music or anything in this. But the gameplay is awesome. If you love games like PopCap era, if you love the puzzle games with Peggle and such, if you love this kind of arcade game with a very addictive gameplay, and even a bit inspired by Balatro and such, NUBBY'S Number Factory is awesome. It's really cool. I had loads of fun playing it. I finished a whole run. It's super cool. It is not pretentiously looking or anything. It's silly. It's a joke. And at the same time, the guy worked on a very cool gameplay. If the guy had more budget, I'm pretty sure this game would be more famous. Seriously, try this game. I heard that he's doing it for smartphone now. Try this game. It's really cool. I'm giving NUBBY'S Number Factory an 80%. It's a B. Just reach a B. 80% is a good game. Just reach a good game. Really cool. I had loads of fun. And finally, we have Megabonk. I don't think I need to present Megabonk anymore. It was so hyped at some stage on Steam and such. Everybody was talking about it. I feel like it's past now, even if a lot of people played it. Megabonk actually is a bullet hell game. You could also say a Vampire Survivors type of game. I really love Vampire Survivors, and so I was very intrigued by this one. Basically, it's if you could put it this way, Vampire Survivors in 3D. Okay, so if you haven't played that, you pick a character, they all have different powers, you are thrown into a level for 5, 10, 15, 30 minutes, depending on whatever you choose, and you need to fight lots of enemies and they all charge at you, and then you get better by getting upgrades and all that, and you try to survive and you beat bosses and until the very end. This is a very known concept nowadays. Vampire Survivors made it even more famous, and it's cool. It's indie looking, but the 3D is fine. It's reminiscent of early 3D games. Audio is totally fine. I don't like much the content of it. Like, it's all sorts of bad humor or bad internet jokes or meme, you know. When you die in the game, it says "you dead," DED, that type of jokes. It's very young sounding. I didn't mind that. Like, I can't care for it. But the gameplay is good. Gameplay is very fine. It's typical Vampire Survivors and all those roguelike games where you try to get more and more and you get better, but you die and you restart, and it's really cool. I did not finish it, but I reached the final level, so I'm pretty sure they should or they will add more stuff, because as of now, compared to a game like Vampire Survivors, there's not enough content for me. It's very repetitive, and so it's fine. So Megabonk gets 76% from me, which is a B. It's a very good game. Very good game. I had lots of fun. It does not replace Vampire Survivors for me, and not because it's 2D or 3D or whatever, but I think I have more fun with all the concepts of gameplay in Vampire Survivors. But if you prefer 3D, you will love Megabonk. It's one of the best bullet hell out there. 76% for me. It's a good game. And that's it for today. These were my 5 reviews. Lots of, indie, different games, but some good stuff in there. Not fantastic games that you will play in 10 years, I think, and at the same time, not bad games that you should forget. I think you should definitely look into it, especially if you're into indie games. I wonder if when you look at some of them, you feel like trying them. You're like, oh, I didn't know about that, I'll try. Or if you just think it looks ugly and uninteresting. I'd be curious to know that. In the meantime, I will see you next time for 5 more reviews. Bye bye.